Bobby, now that you guys have been ranked back-to-back games in this rivalry, I mean, it's always been a great one, but now it kind of takes it up a notch, doesn't it, now that you guys are packing a punch like that?
I mean, I feel like same kind of feelings, heading into the first time. So we're just happy to see that we're playing better, and we won 3 in a row. And our defense has been performing at a pretty good level, and just like what I see out of the team today in practice, just kind of had a little bit of an edge to us. The last 2 days, more so today, in terms of how we prepare.
This game always has great local attention, but because of your success this year, it's now kind of the national spotlight is on it. That's a very good thing for your program, where you guys are at and what you guys are trying to accomplish here.
It's fun. It's just fun to be a part of high-level games. I'm approaching this same kind of way that we approach getting ready for USC and UCLA, and in terms of the caliber of the opponent. And, so yeah, and there's always something extra. I try and take the emotional piece out of it as I'm getting the guys ready, and as even more so, I don't think I'll be as on edge with them, because I know that they'll be ready. If anything, they'll be over the top, ready to play in terms of their enthusiasm, excitement to play. So I just want them to get to a comfortable place where they could just play basketball and try and do it at a good level.
When you watch Arizona on film, how different of a team are they compared to December 30th?
I mean, I think Hawkins just getting back has been beneficial for them, and at that moment he was just kind of rounding into form, and he's a difference maker for sure. And I mean, the same type of approach, really, that their interior game, and Trier's always capable of putting the team on his back. Seems like he makes big shots, and Cartwright runs the show. So it's kind of the same team in a lot of ways that we saw.
Watching that film for the first game, Bobby, what do you think? What do you think are some of the things that need to change to come out with the W?
I thought we defended, pretty well, better than I thought. After watching it again, I avoided watching it right away after it happened. I had to move on to the next thing, but I have watched it this week, and I think that there were some things offensively that we didn't take advantage of. That we do a better job at that end of the floor. That'll help us in this game. But like I had said earlier, I just like that we faced the deficit a couple of times and came back, and that game showed a lot of will and determination.
Bobby, is it going to be different for your bigs, because they hadn't even played in a Pac-12 game, and then you go down to Tucson with Romello and Daquan? Do you sense that this will be different in some respects than that game for them?
Every game's different. I really don't know what it's going to present for those guys. I wish it would make my life a little less stressful heading into this game, to know. I mean, we got to help those guys, support them. We can't leave them down there alone to contend with with those two guys and what they bring off the bench. So but they're practicing well, and they've gained more experience, been through a lot more battles. So hoping that they'll be ready.
Coach, the Banks obviously sold out for the game. How instrumental has the crowd support been on a consistent basis this season?
It's been as good as anything that we've done this year. Like we've won some big, Xavier, Kansas, but just the transformation of how people have rallied behind our team here locally, and are coming to the games the way they are, with the type of passion and electricity that we've. It's so good for our players. It's such an advantage. So I'm enthusiastic. I can't wait to to see it on Thursday. It's what you live for, as a competitor. I think I might have said that before.
What particular problems does Ayton present, and is it more on the defensive end or on the offensive end?
I mean, it's everything probably. He's he alters shots around the basket. He's got great hands to secure rebounds, and he kind of the ball's just gone. He grabs those rebounds so effectively, and moves well away from the basket, can shoot, score inside. So it's kind of total package.
Coach, what have some of the messages or responses from alumni been like this week to you about the game coming up?
Just I think people are enthusiastic, excited for the week we had last week, and to beat those two programs, and now just makes this, you know, the stakes are a little higher now because of what we've been able to do recently, and adds a little more juice to the game. Got stopped a few times at my health club in the morning talking about it, so it's pretty good.
Have you noticed a difference in Kamani's confidence level after the way he performed, especially against UCLA?
Yeah, he's been steady and working hard and staying the course and not entitled. You know, he's earning everything. He's practicing hard. Even when he wasn't getting the minutes, he's getting extra work on his game. So he's, you know, it's not always easy to do. The maturity he's shown has been great, and very happy to see him play well. We needed it, and again, does it in a variety of ways, just with his rebounding. He had a big block on the baseline in the UCLA game, had a couple of steals. So just anytime we go to him, his numbers call. We need him to try and impact the game in as many ways as possible.
It's easy for a big game to get too keyed up, right? You get tight. Which player helps keep everybody loose?
Good question. I would say maybe Zylan, even though he's not playing. Like Z has got an unbelievable, you know, funny guy, always talking, you know, but in a real good way, positive way. I don't think any. I'm not really concerned about any of the guys being uptight. We've been in these spots, these type of games, and I think what makes it better is we won a few, and maybe we don't have to feel that desperation. This game's very important, and we're going to attack the game, but it doesn't seem like our backs are up against the wall like they might have been in some other games we played.
The fact that you've been able to win a couple games without shooting great from three-point range, a couple of good teams you beat last week, is that a sign of growth for your team, do you think?
I think it's important, and I know that we could get back to shooting those numbers, and it's not unrealistic that that'll happen, but you have to count on something if you know, especially your defense and your activity, if you're not shooting it great. And the thing that we did the best on offense was take care of the ball. We turned it over 13 times in 2 games and had huge turnover differentials, and that could help cushion the blow, maybe not shooting the ball as good as you're capable of shooting.
Where have you made the most strides defensively?
I just think, you know, just the details of our defense and convincing everyone to value those details, and, you know, just simplistic things that are the difference in a play of, you know, activity and, you know, using our quickness, you know, trying to generate turnovers, trying to get deflections, just because we're focused on that. And you know, I think our players, you know, understand if we get stops, we can get to the offensive end quicker and get the game to the style and the speed that we'd like it.
Do you think things came so easily for you offensively during the non-conference season? Do you think it maybe took some offensive struggles for your players to really lock into what you have to do defensively?
I mean, that's a valid point. I mean, it's you know, and we still stole the ball at a fairly good clip, but our defensive percentages were not as good as they are currently, because we were coming at you at waves and just scoring a bunch of points so fast. And we've had some of those runs, not to the extreme that they were early, so we've had to play more of a possession game, and teams that would try and slow the game down and make it a possession game. We've had to learn as a team to play through those styles, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing that helps us the rest of the way, and in the conference tournament and the postseason is to play the variety of styles that we've been forced to play. Teams that want to slow it down, teams want to throw it inside, teams, you know, that are athletic, that will zone us. Different ways that we've had to find ways to win in a game. I think that's going to help us, because that's what you're going to get, you know, in the postseason.
Coach, last week we saw Shannon go to the crowd a lot and try to get them hyped and get them up in the air when this game's in the air. Can you talk about how his energy is able to help you guys go on some of those runs in the game?
Yeah, he's fearless. He believes in himself. He's explosive. He's you know, he's a creator. He really you know, he makes his teammates better. I thought one thing that I didn't even talk about after the UCLA game was the majority of his minutes were defensively guarding Holiday. And for most of the game, that guy is playing at such a high level, one of the best guards in the country, and I thought he did a great job individually, keeping him in front, contesting the shots. So he's playing both ends of the floor very well. Yeah, but when he gets it rolling and he's hitting the threes and making plays, he's electric. He's kind of like Remy in that regard, just how people could feel connected to what he's doing out there.
You guys got to the line a lot against the LA schools. Was that something you guys were doing different, or is it just you're getting more calls or something like that?
I mean, I don't know. It's every team's different, how they defend, how the game's being whistled, and so it's hard to project that. You got to adjust within games how it's going to happen. We just played our game. We kind of getting in the lane and getting to the free throw line. And so I can't really tell any differences.
How much does it gnaw at you that you haven't been able to beat Miller since you've been here?
I mean, I don't look at it like that. I know that people might assume that that's the case. I got a ton of respect for Sean. I don't always appreciate the heat that I get from their fan base after they let me know about it. So eventually I'm going to have to address that. But I do like Sean. I respect how he coaches and how he does it. His approach to running a program, building a program, getting guys to defend and value the right things. So that's where I stand in terms of just the utmost respect for him personally.
That fan base is never going to like you, no matter what you do.
I'm such a great guy. I'm such a low-key guy. Such a I keep my composure on the sideline, and I should be. I don't know. They should love me. Just like our fans do.
Should you not be used to this, given what you went through in college with the Duke North Carolina thing?
Look, I enjoyed that rivalry. It's fun. It was extreme, just kind of like this one is. I just always liked that I encountered so many North Carolina fans that said to me after my career that, hey, you were one of my favorite Duke players. Just how you played and how you competed. So I'm just going to wait for the day that's an Arizona fan to say that to me. I don't think it's coming anytime soon.
When you talk about getting heat from fans, you talk about during a game or when you're out and about or both?
I mean, I kind of block everything out during a game, and at their place, it's an intense atmosphere. It was a real atmosphere, and I've been in a bunch of them, so I have experience with that. I think it's more of the social media blitz that you get and those attacks, but that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can handle it.
Do you have more Twitter blocks in your career or actual blocks in your career?
I gave up on that. I gave up on blocks. I tried a few last year. I drew a line with inappropriate language directed at me with it. So now it's anything goes. I'll read it all too.
With Kamani having maybe his best game against UCLA, do you consider playing him more minutes, especially against somebody like Hawkins?
I'm just going to let the game determine that, and certainly he's putting himself in position of gaining more trust with me based on his play recently and what he's looked like in practice the last 2 days. So he's going to get an opportunity, and we just as a team just talking to the bench about just maximizing your minutes out there, and with Kamani, I couldn't take him out of the game in the second half, because of how well he was playing. So, the best way to increase your minutes is not to give me a reason to want to take you out. That's what he did, and I'm sure that we have more competition, more guys that I could play, and our bench is deeper. So that's going to, I think, in the long term, make us better, just for those reasons.
Did Shannon have his step back three at Buffalo?
He was kind of, Shannon was like more of a stop suddenly, shoot the three, or he was gonna use his speed and go downhill, into a driving lane. He's put that into his game since he's been here. I love that pullback. That's I didn't have that in my bag when I played, but he it's an amazing counter to over aggressive defenses, and he's pretty good at it.
that it?
Thank you, guys.